Hey guys, welcome back to the Know with Mo show. I am your host, Monique Williams, and we are here for a second season of Know with Mo. So I have Andrew Savage here, Cameron Michael, and Corbin Causey. I'm sorry. You guys, these guys are killing it in this industry. Corbin is in the mortgage industry, and then we have the two guys here, Andrew and Cameron, that's killing it in real estate. Of course. We're in the PD area, and I would be remiss if I did not start by, kind of talking about real estate just a little bit. You guys have been in real estate for a while. Can you tell me, where do you see the market as far as the shortage that we have been dealing with? What is your perspective on it? Like, do you see it starting to kind of slow down, or do you see us starting to pick up a little bit more with the shortage?
From what I'm seeing, it's going to pick up a little bit, but it's still going slowly, right? So the interest rates are rising, but there's still a whole bunch of buyers who weren't able to buy previously. So once the home does come on the market, it's still kind of flying off right now.
I think that, we just have so many different buyers now. Back 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have, flippers and investors, or so many investors. You have so many conventional, we had a lot of conventional buyers. Then now you have so many different people coming in and buying property for different reasons. So the shortage I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. I'll let the mortgage guy talk about the rates, but I haven't seen it slow down things yet. Do I think they're going to simmer down and come be more smooth at some point? Yeah, at some point.
Well, to touch on that, talking about we have different types of buyers. I think a lot of it goes back to education of clientele, and demographics in certain areas. Shows like this, and educational, inspirational type things that are allowing people to realize, wait, I can do this. Whether it be something as corny as if cauliflower can be pizza, you can be a homeowner. It works.
Yeah.
Right.
It works because in reality, what we didn't have 10 years ago when everything occurred was people knew what was going on. There was a lack of education. Everything was very transactional based, I feel like.
Yeah.
Whereas now there's more of a personality into it. And, realtors who, like the three of you guys, that care to guide you through the process versus, okay, that house is sold. I don't need to worry about that anymore. That deal's over. I'll move on to the next one. You're actually guiding the client through the process, and you're making them believe that it's actually possible.
A lot has changed within the last year.
Yes.
Just within a year, like guys, we were seeing 2s and 3s within the last 2 years on interest rates.
Yeah, we were at 2. The lowest one I did during the whole process, over the past 7.5 years was we had one at 1.99, which was the first time I've ever wrote a mortgage in the ones. There's only one client. That was 15-year mortgage, and it was, like I said, it's about a year ago at this point, but we have seen rates continue to rise slowly. We got back up into the 3s, I think, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then the problem with what happened in our economy and what happened with inflation is it all happened so fast. Rates being back at 5 is not a horrible thing. It's not gonna, cause a crash. It's actually a very stable place for economically to be successful as a mortgage lender or as a buyer, and it's still a great rate. The problem is that if Cameron bought a house in January of last year, and Andrew's buying a house in January of this year, Andrew's not going to understand why Cameron's at 2.5 and he's at 5%.
That's true.
And then it creates a certain animosity, even though it's not intentionally an animosity. It's you're questioning whether or not you're actually being given the best deal because of the fact that the Federal Reserve changed rates so quickly.
Yeah.
So the change wasn't a bad thing. The change wasn't a problem. To me, I see the change. The problem with the change was that the Federal Reserve came out and said, starting today,
Yeah.
we're going to increase by 500 basis points on the mortgage side, and we're going to make it incredibly hard or financially more difficult for a second home or investment buyer compared to a primary home buyer.
Are you seeing more just at the first-time home buyer?
So we're seeing, last year I did 26% investment properties out of the 465 mortgages we wrote. So, roughly over 100 mortgages we wrote last year were for investors. Whereas now our applications for investors are down about 25%. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of investors like Cameron and myself are waiting to kind of see, okay, is this the new normal? Are prices going to continue to increase? Are we going to see maybe a decrease due to the fact that inflation went so high so quickly? But we have seen applications be down for investors, and that intentionally was the point for the Federal Reserve.
Right.
You know, they said, what we want is we want the first-time home buyer and we want the primary home buyer to win.
I don't think anybody is going to say, I wish I would have. I mean, I know we had our crash back in 2008, but look at those prices. I mean, we've already come back to that or over. So, look back 10, 15 years ago, or no renter is not really going to, look back 5 years from now and say, oh, I wish I would have rented for 5 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke is, what is the interest rate on rent?
It's 100%.
So 5% doesn't sound too bad when
10% doesn't sound bad when you're comparing it to 100. So.